Good afternoon, everybody. This is Joe Wolf again, part 2 of our Butterfield Stage Route tour. Today we are here at the Blackburn Station. Yesterday we was at Pusley Station, which is about maybe 20-25 minutes from here. But it's a long stretch from here. If you look at the road, you have to go through a lot of terrain of the hills. Back in there, of course, there's a lot of hills and mountains, a lot of terrain where the wagon has to come through in this area. And as you see, I just pointed out the video of where the Blackburn Station was set at. And of course the monument, you can't see the monument. Of course it sits right in there. You barely could see it, that stone right there. Well, of course the plaque of the stone, well, someone took it off and they used it as a, I guess someone used to shoot at or whatever, and then it cracked it and they took it off and kind of vandalized a little bit. But the stone's still there. I'm glad kind of this little vegetation kind of hides it, so it won't be exposed, but at least I know where it's at. And of course we got this on our database, we got it marked down. But the Blackburn, Mr. Blackburn, of course, owned a stage stand. He was half Choctaw, and he married into a Choctaw lady and owned this area. The homestead, I do not know where the homestead is at. Few have said it's kind of behind here in this wooded area, and some says right behind me in this area where his homestead was at. So, and I don't know about a cemetery, the family cemetery. So it could be in these woods somewhere. I don't have no idea. But there's a cemetery just about a couple miles behind me. Maybe they're buried in there. I have no idea. But this is where Mr. Blackburn had his homestead here, and also where the Choctaws wanted him to have a stand here, a station here, so to of course to interchange the horses and feed them before he moves on to the next route. So the next route we'll be going to is Waddell Station, which is possibly about 10-15 minutes from here, and it's a good track because we're going through a lot of roads. Of course, some of these roads are gravel roads that I'm traveling on, and I'll be heading this way. This is kind of south. We'll be going south-southeast, heading towards Waddell, like kind of going towards Stringtown. So, but these roads, these routes, I believe the road came this way and kind of diagonal off through in this area. So, and behind me is the Indian Nation Turnpike. So yeah, you hear probably the traffic behind me is the Indian Nation Turnpike. So we're gonna go ahead and get down here to the Waddell Station, and I know there's a home there sitting there, so we won't do too much because there's a home sitting on where the monuments are sitting at, so we don't want to disturb anything. We'll just probably just stay in the car and kind of do from there. But let's go over there to Waddell Station, and then from there we can go to Gary Station. Now Gary Station is underwater. We won't go there because yeah, the site's underwater, but there's a dam there, so it has a plaque there, so we may go there. Then we'll go off to Buggy Depot and go so forth. So let's go on and let's head on to Waddell Station. All right, see you on the next. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Joe. We just got back from Blackburn Station on the Butterfield Stage Route, and our next route was here at Waddell Station. So Waddell Station just right behind, or behind this camera, and between these two barns. And there's a monument there between these two barns in the residence area. And of course, near this barn would have been the site of the Waddell Station homestead. The buggy or the carriage would have came through this area at one time, of course interchanging horses or feeding the horse and stuff, and before I head on to Gary Station, which is about another 10-15 minutes from here. And you know, my last segment on my video, we talked about increments that some drive about 10-15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes to each stand, to each stop. And back then, just riding on a horse about 20 miles an hour, maybe less than that, took forever to get there. So, but in the car, it takes quicker. So we just got here within 20-25 minutes, and they probably would have been, you know, about take 2 hours just to get to one place to another because all the terrain. So now we're gonna go to the Gary Station, which is under Toka Reservoir, and we're not gonna look at that site because it's underwater. but the monument is on top of the dam, so we're gonna go there and take a look, and then from there we're gonna head on to Buggy Depot. So let's go on to Gary Station and let's see what we have in store. All right, we'll see you on the next. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Joe again. Earlier we just got back from Waddell Station, and earlier after that we was at Blackburn. So now we're here at Gary Station, here near Stringtown, Oklahoma. Of course, the site's underwater, under a Toka Reservoir. This site's just right behind us, somewhere in the water. But Gary Station was another prominent, of course, he was half-breed Choctaw, and of course, he had his land here, and of course the Butterfield came through in this land on his side. Of course, it set on a little bluff, and then it went on towards Buggy Depot. So, of course, the Butterfield still on the Fort Smith and the Buggy Depot road, and that's how the Butterfield was using its route on the Fort Smith and the Buggy Depot road. So, again, just right behind me, I'll show you what it looked. So, nothing left, just water. All you see here is water, and it's a nice little landscape here. But just right in this area, I will say, right in this area would have been the Gary Station. Gary Station again was the next one on the list was going down towards the wagon was going down towards Buggy Depot. So now we're going to head on to Buggy Depot, and we'll talk about Buggy Depot a little bit over there. And there's a lot of history over there, but we ain't going to talk about Buggy Depot just yet. But I know we got other times we can talk about Buggy Depot. That's one of my favorite sites. But we're going to talk about the Butterfield Stage Route that went along the Buggy Depot. Also, you can still see another depressions of the wagon ruts that went along through Buggy Depot. So let's go along. Let's go down towards Buggy Depot, and let's go check out the wagon road. All right, we'll see you on the next. Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Joe Wolf, and of course, earlier was at Gary Station, which was underwater, and we made another trip to Waddell and Blackburn. So Blackburn was the first one that we came on today. To Waddell, Gary. Now we're here at Old Buggy Depot. So Old Buggy Depot Station is right beyond this camera here, which we'll show you that here in a little bit. A little history of Buggy Depot, and this is where a constitution was written. Of course, around the Treaty of 1837 of Dokesville, the Chickasaws moved up this way, and of course settled here in that time. And of course, and this is also a Choctaw Nation land, but they collaborate together, the Choctaws and Chickasaws. Of course, there's a lot of history here, and I know later on we'll be back here. We'll do more history on this side, and a lot of prominent Choctaws. They lived here, and we'll get with that next time when we come back here at the Old Buggy Depot. But we're here talking about the Buggy Depot Butterfield Stage Route that came along. And again, I want to just let you know it's kind of windy out here. I don't know if y'all can hear the wind roaring. I don't know if y'all can hear me. I'm doing my best. So right beyond me is the Buggy Butterfield route. You can see the monument right here. Of course, a gentleman talked to me earlier. Said right behind here is where the route would have went right through. You see, you can barely see the road, but they did some kind of clearing out in these woods, so they kind of messed some things up. But right behind me is you can still see the depression of the road leading south, going towards Nell's Crossing, which would be our next stop on here. So let's go show you these little roads here, and it's pretty cool. Still well preserved, still cool to see. And I talked to these people here, and they said, yeah, just take photos, videos, whatever. And of course, I told them I'm from the Choctaw Nation. They have no problem. So let's go over there and take a look, and I'll show you these little roads, okay? So, okay, it's kind of peaceful and quiet out here. Again, like I said, it was kind of windy out here. Weather is really beautiful. And of course, you can see, they said the road, partial of the road right there. You can see the hump there. They said that was the road going and meeting. I believe it might be the road going towards Fort Washington and the old Buggy Depot and Fort Smith road. And of course, this once was a community, once was a thriving town. But like I said, we'll get to that later. But we'll walk over here real quick, show you some of the roads. So you can see the depression of this road right here pretty well and well preserved. Of course, you don't see no wagon ruts, but you can see the road that's leading this way, and they're veered off into those woods right there. So that's where the road will come through, and they say it went past this way, the wagon, towards Butterfield, and then went off this way. The station stayed around this area. So now, there you go, looking at the old preserved road of the Butterfield Stage Route and the regular roads that went through back in the time. So now let's head on to Nails Crossing. That'll be our next stop, and then we'll go from Fisher Station, and then our last stop possibly will be at Colberts Ferry. Even though that's in Chickasaw land, but it's still in our history. Choctaws went through there as well. So let's get to Nails Crossing, and we'll see you on the next. Well, good afternoon again. This is Joe. Of course, we're here at Nails Crossing. Well, actually, we're not at the point of Nails Crossing. Nails Crossing is a little bit beyond the way. Of course, it's on the private property and beyond the river, Blue River, actually. And it's pretty thick in there, and we don't want to walk in there. And plus, it's about a quarter of a mile from where we're at. So we're going to try to get close as we can. And this is the part we can get close to. Of course, beyond here is another historical site called Fort McCullough, but we probably won't talk about that. We'll talk about that later on when we do another tour. So, but this one's Nails Crossing, and of course, you see this road right here. Actually, this is just the path that went through this road right here. So this road used to lead on through this area at one time. There's photos of people used to swim in there. There's a bridge you used to go across, and then cross on the other side. But of course, throughout the years, they fell through, and then of course the wagon road came through this area in this site right here, and it came across along this area and went towards south. So actually the road went here. We talked to the property person here a few years back, and he was telling us about this fort actually, but he also was telling us about Nails Crossing. Nails Crossing is actually way back in that area, beyond Blue River. It was called at one time Blue Station, but then it changed to Nails Crossing. It was owned by Joel H. Nail. Of course, Joel H. Nail is buried in the Nail Cemetery, and he is the son of Joel Nail, that's buried in Dokesville. So this is his area. Of course, another stage stand that we was at earlier at Buggy Depot, and the buggy came along through this area, the carriage, and stopped at Nails Crossing. So when they came along, they head towards southwest of here, towards what had been Fisher Station, which that will be the next point that will be stopped. So this is the history of Nails Crossing, and I've never been to the site. Of course, a few of my colleagues have been there, and especially one of my bosses, my director, and archaeologist Ian Thompson. They've been through here before. They've seen the site, but it was a good place, two-story home, and they had a lot of different areas at one time. But there's nothing left there. It's just a monument. There's a monument there, but we can't get there because, like I said, it's in a private property, and it's way in the woods, as you can see. So I mean, it's way back there. But maybe one day I'll get there and maybe take some pictures and stuff. So But some have said this was the original Butterfield Road, but I'll have to disagree. The road, it's possibly like right in this area that went going south, so that's where it went to. So here's Nails Crossing, and now we're going to head on to Fisher Station, and then we're going to go from there. I believe that'd be our last stop. We would have went to Colberts Station or Colberts Ferry, and of course Colberts Ferry is in the Chickasaw land, so we thought to just be right to do it in the Choctaw. So we'll do a little brief history about Colberts Ferry, but for now we're going to head on to Fisher Station, so along the Butterfield route. So let's head on down there and check out Fisher Station, and again, like I said, that'll be our last stop on the Butterfield route. All right, so we'll see you on the next. So good afternoon, or close to evening now. So we're here in other side of Durant, Oklahoma, close to Kersey Corner, a little town just up that way. Of course, I just got stopped by a gentleman here that kind of oversees this area, and was telling me that it was okay to do this. I've already been here before at Fisher Station. So Fisher Station is another Butterfield Stage Route that stopped here heading south going towards Colberts Ferry. And for a minute there, the gentleman thought, he don't want us to film or anything, but he said, as long as you're doing this for, for the history and everything, he said, he is fine with that. So I'm saying, I'm glad that we're documenting this and everything. So I'm glad that we're doing this too as well. And so all this history won't be lost. So anyway, for further ado, I told him I'll be here no more than 5 minutes. So anyway, so we're here at Fisher Station. Of course, it's a stand. I thought it was owned by Durant Fisher, which is Durant, or Fisher Durant, excuse me. Fisher Durant, which I thought would be the owner of it, who would be Dixon Durant, who is the founder of Durant, Oklahoma, his father. But found out it wasn't so. So Fisher, it was the first name, or last name, excuse me. His last name was Fisher, so I don't know, we don't know his first name. Some thinks his name was Randall Fisher, but some says something, so I don't know. So, but all I know is a Fisher Station near about 3 miles southwest of Durant, and it's on property. Actually, the side is trailer house here, and of course I got permission. He said that you can film and so you can go back there, but I ain't gonna go back there because he's got cattle. But beyond this trailer house here, or this mobile home, there was a cabin back there, and that's where Fisher Durant home was at. It was a small cabin, maybe about the size of this little barn here, and the road actually went back here. You can still see the depression going through here, and it veers off going that way towards Colberts Ferry. So there's 2 wells back here. Of course, there's some gravesite back here. About some, I don't know whereabouts is that, but he won't. That's the only thing he won't let me know. But he said he knows they have it here. But of course, there was a site here and 2 wells here. So of course, this place has been monitored pretty well, because this place right here, this person here watches this place pretty good. So that's great. And he said he still want to keep this history great. So Fisher Durant, excuse me, I don't know why I keep saying Fisher Durant. Fisher Station, along this Butterfield route. Again, we was at Nails Crossing, so the road possibly went back here all the way up towards Nails. And just a fun fact before I leave here, we're actually on Chickasaw land, and just beyond those trees there, just beyond those trees there is Choctaw, and then beyond this way, right here, we're in Chickasaw. So technically we're in Chickasaw land, beyond where that house is at is in Choctaw land. Reason why is right over here is a Chick-Chock rock, which we call a Choctaw and Chickasaw meridian boundary, which divides the Chickasaw and Choctaw. So 1872 they divided the Choctaw and Chickasaw boundaries, and every mile they have a marker, but we don't know where they're at, which that'd be interesting to find. So anyway, here is Durant Station, and we're going to go on to well, today we're going to this will be our end. We're going to end here at Durant, because Colberts Ferry is actually in Chickasaw, but I'll give you more info on that. I'll show you some pictures and everything. So without being fair, just keep it in the Choctaw Nation. So we came along yesterday. We went to Skullyville, to Walker Station, and then we traveled down towards Brazil, which I didn't get to see, but it's really not much. But we went to Traherne Station, and then from there we went to Edward Store. From Edward Store we went to Holloway. Holloway to we went to Riddle Station, to Mount Station, and Puzley. And today we went to Blackburn Station, all the way to Waddell Station, Gary Station, the Buggy Depot Station, Nails Crossing, and here. I know we didn't get to do Colberts Ferry, which I'll show you that here later on. So anyway, this is the Choctaw history on the Butterfield Stage Route. So if you enjoy this documentation and this tour, please leave a comment or whatever you want to do. If you have any questions, or if you have any family through these Butterfield or went through this Butterfield route, feel free to let me know. Again, we're the historic preservation. That's why we like to do document and preserve the area as much as we can, and try to be safe from people from properties. So that's why I'm glad that we have permission here too. So this is the only site that we have permission. So anyway, so we're glad to do this. So we're gonna go on and have a great day. I want to say Merry Christmas to you all, and as we say in Choctaw, Yakoke Chipesalaji, and we'll see you on the next.